Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. It's my first Q&A, like official one that I've ever done on my channel. If this background and outfit looks familiar, it's because I just filmed my 30-week pregnancy update. So I'm not sure which video I'm going to upload first. So if it's already up, I'm going to link it. I'm going to link it right here if you guys want to watch my latest pregnancy update. I asked you guys, I think last month, to ask me some questions. It took a while to accumulate some questions because I'm not popular at all on YouTube or anywhere. But I got some pretty good questions. So I'm going to answer these because I get quite a few of these questions asked often, and I would rather just answer them all in a video and then have that video up on my channel. So if anybody new comes to my channel, then they can come and watch this video and just, get some general answers to questions if they were wondering them. And also, I've gotten a lot of new subscribers recently. I don't know where they're coming from, but welcome if this is your first video that you've seen of mine. First question comes from Khadija Artis. I hope that's how you say your name. But she asked me these questions on YouTube. So she asked me a couple questions. I'm just going to answer all of them. The first question was, how was your gestational diabetes test? It was great. I passed it with, I would say, flying colors. My doctor said that they typically like to see anything below, I think, 135. I don't know what the measurement is on that, but below 135, and my number was 78. So it was pretty low, which was great. I did feel like shit after I took the test, though. I took it on a Wednesday, and that was the day that I also got hit with the flu. So I felt like shit regardless, but I was really tired. I had a big sugar crash after I took it, so that wasn't fun, but I took it at 26 weeks actually, and I'm 30 weeks now, so I'm very happy to not be a part of the Gestational Diabetes Club. Is your husband super excited about baby Brody, or it doesn't show? He is so excited. He has always said that he's wanted a boy since I think we were like friends and before we started dating. He would always say, like, I need a son, I want a son, and I will have one day. And he has no brothers. He only has sisters. I have 2 sister-in-laws. So I think he's just so excited to be a father to a little boy and to finally, have the son that he's been dreaming of basically his whole life. He is very involved in all of the decisions we've been making about Brody's life when it comes to medical decisions and educational decisions, just decisions that we're going to have to be facing and making soon. He's very involved, and that is a very good thing, although sometimes it's a little bit annoying because we don't quite see eye to eye on certain things, so we've been battling each other with that, but he's very, very excited. This question is probably one of the biggest questions I've been getting, so I actually got asked this a couple times. Are you going to be doing a birth vlog? So yes, I am going to be doing one. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, and I'm not sure when it will be up after Brody's born, but I will be doing one. I know that my hospital has a policy on filming during the birth. I don't think it's allowed at all, so I won't be able to film the actual birth, but that's also not really my style. I love birth vlogs that have, clips of the actual footage, but that's not something that I'm comfortable with putting on the internet. So just, I am going to be making one, but it's not probably going to be like all of the other ones you guys have seen, just because, I don't know, like, we're private people, but we're not. I feel like that specific part of Brody's birth, I want it to be more intimate and more personal, like, just for, our family, but I want to film the process of me going into labor or me going in to be induced, at least. I'm not sure, how it's going to happen, but I am going to film, my labor, waiting for him to arrive. I may do audio of the birth. I'm thinking if I can get away with doing that, I might include some audio. And then, of course, after he's born, I'm going to be including clips of, him meeting family and us meeting him and things like that. So I am doing one, just it's going to be a little different, and I don't know how I'm going to set it up yet. And then she also said, which I like this question, she said, how long did it take you to get over being nervous for this pregnancy due to your previous loss? And I've actually had multiple losses, but if you guys are new to my channel, we have had some issues getting pregnant. We've been married for 2 years, and we kind of started trying right away, or like right after we got married, really shortly after. And I did have a miscarriage at 8 weeks, and that was really hard. But then 2 months later, we got pregnant again, and that was the hardest one that we've had, because we got pregnant with a little girl, and I was 22 weeks and 3 days when we delivered her, stillborn. And that was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It was something that has impacted me so much, and it has had a huge impact on Corey and our marriage and just our lives. But she asked, how long did it take me to get over being nervous? Honestly, I'm still nervous. I don't think I'm ever not going to be nervous, and even with future pregnancies. But I don't think you ever, going through a stillbirth or, just losing a child in pregnancy, whether it's like an early loss or a late term loss, I don't think you ever stop being nervous with each subsequent pregnancy. I think it's something that's always in the back of your mind, or at least it's always in the back of my mind. But I just try to tell myself that this pregnancy is, different than my last one. It's not the same baby, it's not the same pregnancy, and I just take it day by day. I would say I really stopped feeling super nervous probably after I reached the point where I lost Blair in her pregnancy. So, 22 weeks and 3 days was a huge milestone for me. That was as far along as I'd ever been in any of my pregnancies. So I'm now 30 weeks, and it's going great so far, knock on wood. But I think it took me getting to that milestone to kind of calm down a bit, but now I'm worried about other things like the birth and taking care of a person for the rest of my life. I'm so afraid of that. But that's kind of how long it took me to stop really being nervous. But I don't think I'll ever stop really being nervous, if I'm being honest. Joy Smith asked, how did you and your husband meet, and when did you guys meet? So Corey and I actually met at Hollister. We were both models at Hollister. I hate saying that word. But Hollister was my very first job. It was my first job in high school. I started working there when I was 17. Corey and I met when we were, I want to say right after, I was 19. I had just turned 19. Or maybe even I met him right before I turned 19. So we met when we were 18, 19, and we met at Hollister. So I had worked there longer than he had. His sister worked there, my sister-in-law, and I worked with her for 6 months. And then she brought him in there to start working one day, and that's kind of how I first met him. Thought this one guy that worked in the back as an impactor was cute, but I was really shy and I didn't have the guts to talk to him. And I told my friend that I thought the guy was cute. And then she was shopping in there one day, and I was working on the register, and so was Corey. And she looks over and she was like, is that him? And I was like, no, that's not him. But then I looked at him and I was like, well, he's really cute too, but I've never seen him before. Where did he come from? And it was because he just started working there. So that was pretty funny. But that day we were working, it was New Year's Day. So it was the day after New Year's Eve. The store was super busy because of all the sales. I was really hungover, even though I wasn't old enough to drink, and I'm sure he was hungover too. But we worked together that night, and that was my very first shift ever working with him. And we kind of just talked the whole shift. And then he walked me to my car, and I thought it was a little weird at first because he opened my door for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this creep gonna get in my car? What is he doing? I've never had a guy open my car door for me before and be so chivalrous. So he asked me for my number because he wanted to exchange a shift. Smooth, right? So I gave him my number, and we texted that night, and we have literally talked every single day since that day. Joy Smith also asked if we are planning on having more kids, and the answer is yes. I initially only wanted one more. I feel like having 2 kids would be perfect, but then Corey has said definitely one more, maybe 2 more. Kayla Oberhuber asked, what is Brody's theme going to be and colors for his nursery? So Brody's nursery, I don't have a theme. I'm not really a big theme person, but his color scheme is going to be beige, gray, and white, so with a little bit of navy. And I know it's kind of hard to picture, but his walls are going to be a very light gray. His dresser is like a nice, like light oak wood. His crib is white. I bought him like a taupe beige colored rocker, like rocking chair. And I bought like a Moroccan poof ottoman that's like a beige color. And the floors are going to be kind of like a medium to like dark wood. So I have it in my mind. I update a lot on Twitter and Instagram of our house renovation process, and Brody's nursery is obviously included in that. So if you guys don't follow my social media and you want to kind of keep up with what's happening, I would definitely suggest checking out my Twitter at least, because I post whenever stuff comes in, and I decide more stuff on his nursery. I usually just post it on Twitter because I'm pretty active on there. But that's his colors. It's just very neutral, very light, very bright, because like I said, our house is kind of tiny that we bought, so his room is kind of tiny, and I don't want to have a lot of dark colors just kind of like crowding the space and making it really dark. I want it to feel very light and bright and open. So beige, white, and gray with a little bit of navy. Abby, 12, but her name is Annie, asked me, will you be returning to work after Brody is born? If so, how long will you take a maternity leave? So, my company does not offer paid maternity leave. I only get FMLA, which is 12 weeks of unpaid maternity leave. Spoke to my employer about it, and they told me that I can technically come back whenever I want, and they said that I will always have a job there, which is amazing. It makes me feel really happy. So knowing that I don't have to be back right after 12 weeks makes me feel a little bit more relaxed. Corey and I did discuss this, and we are gonna kind of play it by ear. I've been telling my clients that I'm not coming back any sooner than 12 weeks. So if I do plan on taking maternity leave, it will be definitely at least 12 weeks from the start of when I leave work. We may just attempt for me to be a stay-at-home mom and see how our finances go and see how we can handle it. And we both discussed that if we can financially handle me being a stay-at-home mom, and if everything, you know, looks good, then I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mommy. So I'm really, really excited. I've been praying about it. I really want it to happen. Mackenzie Herman, hey girl, she's one of my internet friends. I've been friends with her for a while. She said, when did you first feel Brody move, and what did it feel like? I first felt Brody around, I want to say like 17 or 18 weeks, and it was really, really little. They were like little pops, but they were definitely kicks, and they were really low, and they were only on the left side, and then they started moving up gradually and like up and out. But that was when I first started feeling him move, and it just kind of felt like I said, like a pop or like a flick. Sometimes it felt like a fish swimming, but it was really, really light. And now they're like humongous kicks, and I feel like I'm being kicked in the ribs because I am. But yeah, I felt him pretty early, and I'm surprised that I did because I have an anterior placenta, but I have no doubt that I was feeling him that early because he's a very active baby. Agostin 13319531. That's a very long number, but your Twitter name is bogus, which is pretty funny. She asked me 2 questions. She said, does Brody have a middle name? Yes, his middle name is Eli. And she also said, how did you choose your son's name? We chose his name, honestly, we just went down the line of names, and we did not agree on a lot of names at all. I actually filmed a Baby Names I Love But Won't Be Using video on my channel, and I used like 5 names in it that we loved but we didn't use. And we just kind of looked on the online lists and just, you know, tried to search around for names that we liked. One's like a perfect name. It's not too short, it's not too long, it's easy to pronounce, it's easy to spell, and we just chose it because we liked it. It was a B name. Our daughter's name started with a B. Her name was Blair, and we wanted to honor her by naming our next child with a name that also started with the letter B, so that's kind of where it came from. We knew we wanted a B name. That was all of the questions. I don't even know if that was a lot of questions, but I hope you guys learned some stuff about me, and if you are still wondering some things that maybe didn't get answered in this video, you can just leave them in a question below.